Imagine investing in these superstars before they ever broke out. This is the place. This is where you come to know who to invest in on Mojo, the sports stock market. So make sure you tap in the opening bell, hosted by Ray GQ and your boy Jay Rich. Let's make some money.
Welcome in for another episode of the opening bell over here on the Mojo YouTube channel. Y'all know who it is, man. It's your boy Ray GQ. You can find me on Twitter at Ray GQ. Joined as always by my man, my brother from another mother, Jay Rich. You can find him at your boy Jay Rich on Twitter. If this is your first time tapping into the show, welcome. We appreciate you being here. Hit that thumbs up button, like the content, but most importantly, subscribe to the Mojo YouTube channel and hit those alerts. That way, every time one of the dope content creators over here drops something on the channel, you get it right to your phone. You ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to look for it. It's right there. Boom. Phone, laptop, computer, iPad, tablet, all that other good stuff. But Jay, man, what a weekend in football, not only in the NFL, but collegiate, the NCAA as well. And we'll kind of talk about some big takeaways, some big market movers. But first, how you doing, my man?
I'm good. I mean, you see the threads, you see the Vikings jersey, repping the 8-1 Vikings.
Yes.
Big win over the Buffalo Bills. Justin Jefferson proving that he deserves to be the #1 rated wide receiver on Mojo with his massive performance.
Did you see it?
Did I see
the greatest catch
around the world
of all time? Jay, real quick, we got to have the debate. Is it the greatest catch of all time?
I think it is, man. I really do. I understand the OBJ catch. I understand it. I get it. Call me prisoner of the moment. I was on record saying George Pickens' catch overrated, not better than OBJ's. But this one, 4th and 18 situation, won them the game, not just with this catch, but others. Massive performance, career high in yardage on top of that. I think that Jefferson can make the case. Say what you want about Pickens' catch. I'm not on board with that, but I think that you could really make the case for greatest catch of all time with Justin Jefferson. I really think you can. And in my opinion, it is the greatest catch of all time. The man ripped it out of someone else's 2 hands with 1 hand by himself. Man, it's just phenomenal.
It was a great catch. I still got OBJ over the Justin Jefferson catch. The situation surrounding the catch of Justin Jefferson was incredible. And right now on Mojo, he is the highest priced NFL wide receiver that we have at $27.88. That's higher than Stephon Diggs, $25.81, and Tyreek Hill, $25.63, and he's up. He is up 3%, 3.21%. Justin Jefferson seeing that stock rise up a little bit. So shout out to Jets, the Minnesota Vikings. With Jay, it wasn't just all good in the NFL, man. We had a lot of injuries. We had Justin Fields going berserk again. Where do you want to start? Where are we looking to invest? What players? What are the big takeaways? What do we need to be mindful of going into this week and looking ahead to next week?
I mean, I think you kind of touched on it. It's injuries, right? Cooper Kupp, Zach Ertz, Matt Stafford not playing, Kyler Murray not playing, Jerry Jeudy, Gerald Everett, Khalil Herbert, Juju Smith-Schuster is a big one I think we should talk about a little bit. Leonard Fournette, so many guys. But one of the things, Ray, I do want to talk about briefly is that one of the things I think you can take advantage of on Mojo, and I think we're going to start with Cooper Kupp. He's down 5% right now with an injury. We don't know what the injury is, but we think it's a high ankle sprain. It looked bad. It looks like he's probably not going to play the rest of the season, probably shouldn't play the rest of the season with how bad the Rams have been, right? I think that you could short him right now. I'm not going to say you should, guaranteed, but I think you could short him. If you get in before that news breaks, I bet you'd make some money. So, again, this is something that I noticed with Breece Hall. Breece Hall, we knew he tore his ACL on Sunday. Yeah. We knew that. It wasn't confirmed, but all reports said he tore his ACL. He's out for the year. He went down on Mojo. Then Monday afternoon comes. He gets announced he has a torn ACL, and he's down again. It's like double jeopardy, man. It's not fair, but sometimes you got to play the market. It's not fair, but sometimes you got to play the market that way, and I think you could take advantage. But Cooper Kupp is a perfect example. And then if you want to go on the other side, talk about Juju and the rise of Kadarius Toney over 7%, right? So, caught his first touchdown, looked great with Mahomes. Mahomes in his own right. Another 304 touchdowns. My goodness. How could you not love Patrick Mahomes? But Toney up 7%. Do you want to talk about him? Because
the market just opened, right? We're recording. He's up 11%. 11.36% for Kadarius Toney. But Jay, I think you are spot on with the Cooper Kupp short. Like, we know he's hurt, right? Let's just say they come out and they say it's a 6-week injury, 4 to 6 weeks, high ankle sprain. Rams are considering shutting him down for the year, you will see his price go down again.
100%.
It's like they'll double count it, right? Like we already know he's hurt. He's already down 5%, but he'll go down even more. So I think that is a nice little gem, a nice little nugget that you dropped out there for everybody who is currently active in the Mojo market. You can kind of take advantage of those spikes, especially when those players are injured and you know it. Jerry Jeudy, any of these guys, Cooper Kupp, the big name guy, any of them really, any of those guys.
Yeah, no, and Zach Ertz, another one, right? That mechanism of injury with the knee getting carted off, that looked like an ACL now. They said it's not, and I'm going to trust him, but he may be out an extended time too. He was already announced that he's going to be out multiple weeks by Adam Schefter. But again, just the story of this week really is injuries. Like, I mean, there's a lot of things we could talk about. I think that, the biggest thing that I saw in terms of market movers.
Let's do it.
Can we talk about Jeff Saturday starting Matt Ryan and Sam Ehlinger?
Let's set the scene up, because this has been a find of Mr. J. Rich. And if you are active in the Mojo market, which you should be, he's about to say something that may sound a little crazy, but I think you're spot on, Jay. I think you have found some significant edge and advantage to playing this market. So go ahead and get into the backup quarterback theory.
So I'm not saying you should invest in all backup quarterbacks, but you should definitely be investing in high upside backup quarterbacks. We've talked about investing in Kenny Pickett before he was a starter. We talked about investing in Malik Willis before he was a starter. Now you look at Sam Ehlinger. Well, would you look at that guy? He's someone who was up 60%, Ray. 60%.
I know. I'm looking.
He looked good, quote unquote, in his first game. And if you were listening to us, we were like, we're not buying it. We're not buying the Sam Ehlinger experience. We've seen him at Texas. We know who he is. And this is part of the reason why we talk about certain quarterbacks in college and what we expect from them in the NFL level, because there is a big difference between quarterbacks you want and quarterbacks you are buying short term. But I think there is a world where if you just invest a little bit of money with multipliers in a lot of backup quarterbacks, and maybe we can curate a list for the people so we know who we would buy. I can do something like that, put together a list of high upside guys that we do like, that have NFL futures. You look at Trace McSorley, man. This dude comes in the game, goes up like 10%. He went right back down because he's Trace McSorley, but as soon as these guys hit the field, they spike hard on Mojo. And so for me, it's like, you look at Sam Ehlinger, we know he's not that dude. And what happens? He gets benched for Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan looks phenomenal. And then all of a sudden, Sam Ehlinger down 70% rate. 70%.
In a week, Jay.
My goodness.
In a week.
Ryan Tannehill comes back in. Malik Willis, what is he down? 10%. Do you know why? Because they're just not that good. They're just not that good, man. So when you have investments in these backup quarterbacks, the moment they hit the field, unless they're, Kenny Pickett or someone with a lot of upside, high draft capital, you need to sell them. We are buying them in the short term for when they go way up and they hit the field, because there's always the chance they go way back down. And that's the biggest problem. But there is a lot of money to be made in backup quarterbacks.
I think this is a phenomenal I'm just looking at Ehlinger over the last week. $5.25 a week ago. $1.54 today, 70.61%. Dude, that type of return in 1 week, Jay, like I'm kicking myself for not taking a flight to go load up on some Sam Ehlinger. You know what I mean? And you threw a multiplier on that, 2x multiplier on that, 140%.
Yeah,
I mean,
insane.
Jay, I think you're onto something, and we will curate a total list, or at least a top 5. But right now, one of the names in my mind that I just keep thinking about is like Tyler Huntley from the Ravens. What happens? We know that they didn't pay Lamar. Doesn't seem like they're gonna pay Lamar, right? Lamar probably is like, I'm not playing under the tag. What if the Ravens have to? You invest in Huntley. What is Huntley going for right now? Like, where's his Mojo price at right now for Tyler Huntley? Where's Huntley at? Huntley,
$5.67. That's it. And this is a guy, like, again, you look over the past year, he's been up and down a little bit. He's kind of up. He's up about 35% in the last year because he did play a bit. But you look at Tyler Huntley, he was $3.81. And then all of a sudden Lamar gets hurt. Dude spiked up to career high $6.10.
Man.
And Tyler Huntley, in my opinion, not a bad quarterback. 65% completion percentage, over 1,000 yards last season, 3 touchdowns, 4 picks, can run the ball. A guy that, in my opinion, does deserve a shot to start at the NFL level. He is under contract for this season with the Ravens, and Lamar misses a game almost every year, Ray. When is the last time Lamar Jackson played a full season? Probably, his rookie year, maybe?
Don't get on here and start talking. This ain't no shame, Lamar. Just leave Lamar out of this, all right? Leave Lamar's injuries out of this. Leave him out of this. We're not doing that.
So he's never played a 16-game season ever because he didn't start as a rookie, and he missed a game every year for his entire career. So he's on track right now to play every game, but if heaven forbid he misses a game, Tyler Huntley is going to skyrocket on Mojo. And I think he's one of the guys that we would target as one of the best buys. Case Keenum, if anything happens to Josh Allen, we already saw his spike a little bit, came back down.
What about Sam Howell? The Commanders play?
You know who I want to see actually quickly is Desmond Ridder, because the talk about Mariota and how he's been looking, not good. Desmond Ridder is up 8.58% since Thursday Night Football, so he is up a little bit. I think Desmond Ridder is the guy that could spike a little bit more. I don't love him, but he's the guy that I want to.
$7.97. I can't do it with Ridder, man. I can't. I'd rather invest in a Huntley. There are a couple of other quarterbacks. We'll put together a list. But I think there are a couple that are low cost investments, and you just chill, right? That's everyone. The best position in the world is the backup quarterback, right? Backup quarterback. But I do think there are a couple that you can get in low right now. And we don't pray for injuries. We don't bank on injuries. But if something were to happen, a player were to sit out, like, you will see that value spike, right? You will see. Like, we went to look for Colt McCoy. He isn't even in the system. Colt McCoy. This is how off the radar some of these cats are. But he had a fantastic performance yesterday. He's
won the game.
What if John Walford starts the rest of the year for the Rams? I know he won't. But Skylar Thompson, when he got the call for Tua, and people were panicked on Tua and his long-term viability as the starting quarterback for the Dolphins, I think you've kind of Cooper Rush. We saw Cooper Rush. And then you start getting that momentum. The crowd talking about, he's going to be the starting quarterback long-term in Dallas, knowing good and damn well Dak Prescott is the starting quarterback. But we talk ourselves into believing these false narratives. But I do think you've kind of touched on a little piece of a little hidden gem that I hope everyone watching this takes away from that, Jay. But we got to talk a little college ball too. Because we've been talking about this quarterback race, right? Bo Nix, Hendon Hooker, Will Levis, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Drake Maye, those 24 quarterbacks. Jay, I asked you today, I was like, who's the front runner for the Heisman? Who are the finalists for the Heisman? Who are the Texans going to select at number 1 overall? What are the Raiders going to do with their number 2 overall selection? Let's talk about some of these quarterbacks. Hendon Hooker, monster game this weekend versus Missouri. Monster performance for Hendon Hooker. C.J. Stroud balled out for Ohio State this past weekend. Bo Nix got injured, still played well, but they did lose. So Oregon out of college football playoff contention. Bo Nix no longer in the Heisman Trophy consideration. But we did see everybody's projected potential top overall quarterback, Will Levis, struggle again. Jay, Will Levis has struggled again, and we've been telling people to buy Hendon Hooker, go long Hendon Hooker. What has happened on Mojo with Hendon Hooker and Will Levis?
Well, Ray, we finally saw that inflection point. Will Levis and all of his poor performances are starting to finally get to him a little bit now. Hendon Hooker didn't have the best game versus Georgia, but he came out and played very well against Missouri, and now he has officially surpassed Will Levis as the number 3 2023 eligible quarterback on Mojo, right behind, significantly behind C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. But the big thing here is that this is kind of what we've been talking about. Will Levis is on a downward trajectory, and while we can't short quarterbacks, we can buy quarterbacks, and we can go long on quarterbacks. A guy like Hendon Hooker, who will probably be a first-round pick. Is he going to be QB3? I don't think so. I still think Will Levis could be that, but we've been talking from the point, he was $13. Now he's up over $17.5, so you're already making money on that return. So I think it's a great spot still. But, Ray, I can't get over what I'm seeing for Drake Maye. We talked about Drake Maye already last week, but it's just impossible to not talk about this guy because he's legitimately in the Heisman consideration. He's not very high up, but he's a legitimate candidate this season, carrying North Carolina on his back. Potentially could win the ACC, which is going to be a massive for his Heisman race. What do you want to say about Drake Maye and what his NFL future could look like?
He is incredible. 3,412 passing yards, which is third in college football. He's tied for first with 34 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, and fourth in QBR with 88.5 versus Wake Forest in a 36-34 shootout. He had 448 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air. He also ran the ball 19 times for 71 yards and another touchdown on the ground. He's 6'4", 220 pounds, Jay. And when it's all said and done in that 24 class, he will be the projected top quarterback in that class. I love me some Caleb Williams, but you can't pass up 6'4", 220. He's everything that people want Will Levis to be, but 10 times better than Will Levis. And right now, he's $19.94. Caleb Williams, $29.86. Almost $10 higher than Drake Maye. I'm telling y'all right now, if you take nothing away from this show, for all the episodes that we do, unload the clip for North Carolina quarterback Drake Maye. I would be parking a sizable amount of money in the stock of Drake Maye. I will just say that I'm serious. I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna get on American Airlines tonight and look for a flight just to turn around. I just need to get through there. Just maybe I'll do like a turnaround trip to Dallas. I need Drake. $19 for Drake. Jay, I'm looking across. Would you? Let me ask you this: Justin Jefferson, best wide receiver in the NFL, right? Or best wide receiver.
Not close.
Not best wide receiver in the league. Would you rather invest in him at $27 at his ceiling right now, or in Drake Maye at $19.98?
Drake Maye, it's not close. It's not close.
I don't know. Is there a better buy on Mojo right now than Drake Maye? Find me a better buy than Drake Maye, because we're banking on not just the production that he's doing this year, but watch that. He's in the same class as Caleb Williams. And Caleb is $10, is priced $10 more than Drake Maye right now. $10 more. Drake Maye is going to be a Heisman Trophy finalist. He's probably going to win the ACC. He's potentially looking light years ahead of Quinn Ewers, light years ahead of Anthony Richardson, light years ahead of Will Levis, and right now still getting that value at $19.94. Unload the clip on North Carolina quarterback Drake Maye. I'm telling y'all, this is the one. This is the one where you look back in a year, we'll be doing this show this time next year, you'd be like, man, Jay, remember when Drake Maye was sub $20? Do you remember that? It'd be a mythical time. It won't get back this low. Buy him now. It's not going down. It's not going down. This might be the floor. And you look at Drake Maye over a month ago, Jay, $14.92 a month ago.
Insane.
For Drake Maye. 33%. Yeah. Go freaking long. And can you 3x multiplier? Any multiplier, multiply it up and try to get multiple multipliers. Just go long Drake Maye. I'm telling
multipliers.
You, multiple multipliers on Drake Maye. You just want Maye multiply because he's that good, Jay. He's that good.
No, Ray, you touched on it, and people need to understand that this isn't like we're projecting far here. The top overall draft picks in the past few years have been around $50 when they're first overall, second overall. Trevor Lawrence was like $75 on Mojo when he got drafted. So again, this isn't like we're trying to tell you that they don't have tons of upside. CJ Stroud and Bryce Young as well have $50 upside at the moment they're drafted in the top 5. Caleb Williams, like you mentioned, $30 already because he's projected a top 5 draft pick. Drake Maye will be there next season. So you're talking about best buys. He just, to me, is one of the surest things on Mojo. I'm not trying to say you're guaranteed to make a ton of money.
Right. But we ain't gonna guarantee it.
Ain't no guarantee. But Drake Maye is phenomenal. I couldn't imagine a team next season needing a quarterback and saying, I don't really want Drake Maye. Yeah. Give me Quinn Ewers, who hasn't done anything this season.
Thanks.
He is a guy who, like CJ Stroud was last year, vaulted himself into the Heisman candidacy and then showed it again in his junior season. We're going to see the same thing from Drake Maye. That defense is horrendous. He's only going to continue to throw for a ton of yards. He's going to be competing for ACC titles. He's going to be in the Heisman race probably this season and next season. He's going to be a top 10 pick. He has to be. If he's not a top 10 pick, I don't know what the hell the NFL
if he's
is
not,
doing. He would have to
if he's
fall.
not top 10 pick, we won't do the show.
Crazy.
We won't do the show anymore. If he's not top 10 pick, You know who he's priced between right now, NFL value-wise?
Probably some bad quarterbacks because it's under $20.
Well,
He's like Kenny Pickett, probably.
Kenny Pickett, he's right ahead of Kenny Pickett, but behind
Sam
Tyrod
Darnold.
Taylor. Right behind Tyrod Taylor.
Dude, Drake May. Give me Drake May, please. Please. Can you please come to Toronto so I can buy some Drake May? That's all I want is Drake May.
You live closer to Jersey than I do. I gotta
take a trip.
I need you to make a trip. I'm flying to DC for Thanksgiving. My mom lives in DC. I don't think it's a far drive, man. I don't think it's far. I gotta plan.
Just take your car.
Yes, I'm just that's how committed we are to Mojo. I'm gonna drive there and just unload it all on the Drake May. But yeah, go get you some Drake May if you have the ability. Please, please, please go long Drake May. But that's it for this episode of The Opening Bell. Jay, as we do before we close every show, we talk about the Monday night matchup and we talk about which player should you be getting tonight. Whether that's long-term, short-term, who do you think you can invest in tonight that's going to turn a profit on Mojo? I'm putting you on the spot. You should have known it was coming. So get it together and make your play, make your pick right now. Go long, go short. Who is it?
Wow, this is tough because I want to say Antonio Gibson, only because I believe he's going to get the lion's share. I would be going long on him, actually. I think there's an opportunity for him to have a good game. I know, see, you're scoffing. You're looking at me like I'm crazy, but the Eagles defense isn't that great. They allow over 5 yards of carry. They're a great team, and he can get fast out of the backfield. So I think there is a world where he could have a great game. But Ray, if you do want a legitimate take that is validated, backed by stats, one of the players in the NFL who kills the Eagles more than anybody, wide receiver Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin has had some of his biggest games against the Eagles with Taylor Heineke at the helm. He could be a guy that has a massive game and does spike on Mojo. Outside of that, the obscure guys, I'm not really feeling anybody in this game, but I think that if you were to pick anybody, I think it has to be on the Commanders side because they'll probably be down and they'll be throwing a ton, whether it's Antonio Gibson or Terry McLaurin. I think Terry McLaurin is the safer bet, but Antonio Gibson for me is kind of more of the upside play on Mojo today.
I want to say Jahan Dotson. He's a rookie. He's supposed to be back. But I'm going to follow your advice. I think I would get a few shares of Sam Howell. I don't know if I would include a multiplier on him just yet. But I think I would get some. Hey, you know what? You only live once. Throw the multiplier on Sam Howell.
Don't cost you nothing.
Yeah,
that costs you nothing.
Yeah, only if it goes the opposite direction, then it costs you double or triple what you put in. But I do think there's a world in which Washington just gets out of it, man. They're just out of it for the season. And he's a 5th round pick. Not that I think he's going to be any sort of long-term superstar, but they may just say, let's get a look at Sam Howell. Let's just get a look at him, right? Maybe they're watching a lot of Drake May. Howell went to North Carolina. Maybe we need to get that Howell on the field. But with $5, man, I think you can put a little something on Sam Howell. Probably won't yield you any return tonight. But if Taylor Heineke goes out there and just does Taylor Heineke things, maybe we can see a little shift. And here's the thing, man. Backup quarterback is everybody's favorite position. So even if you invest in Sam Howell long-term, there'll come a point when he's getting some buzz. They may take an extended look at him in the offseason. But I would say go long Sam Howell. I wouldn't get crazy with that one, but I am going to follow your backup quarterback strategy. I thought that was an excellent point you made at the beginning of the show, and I hope you all take something from this episode. Big takeaway, Drake May, multiply Drake May. Long, biggest takeaway from the show. We appreciate y'all being here. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, like the content, hit those alerts. That way, every time we drop something on Mojo, y'all get it right to your phone. But y'all enjoy. Y'all have a good one. Enjoy the Monday night game. We'll see y'all next Monday for another episode of The Opening Bell. For Ray, for Jay, we out. Peace.
Keep going.